Hello, you're watching James. My name's James. You're watching me, and I am talking about watches. Well, I did something which I very, very rarely do. I made an impulse purchase. I made a purchase without really thinking it through. I saw a watch advertised and I thought, oh, I really like that. That looks like so much fun. I jumped online, had a quick search around. I found the cheapest variation of it online, brand new, and I went, oh, buy it now. And as soon as I hit that buy it now button, I had some little thoughts of regret in the back of my mind. I thought, oh, should I have spent that much money on this watch? Should I perhaps have thought about it a bit more? Should I have done my normal process of watching reviews, thinking about it, comparing it against other watches in this sort of price range? But I didn't. I hit buy it now. And I was then a little bit nervous. I was a little bit excited as well because I thought this is going to be a fun watch. But I was nervous because, well, maybe I spent too much money and maybe I didn't think this purchase through enough. So today I'm going to do my first impressions of this watch. Obviously it has arrived now. It is the Bulova Computron. This is the stainless steel version with the blue display screen. Something that is really kind of cool, but it is very different to what I'm normally buying, especially at this sort of price range. So in a first impression style video, let's flip the camera around and let's see if I made a mistake buying this one, or if I'm actually a little bit pleasantly surprised, or possibly even a little bit excited. Let's check it out. So here we have my Bulova Computron, the 9S6C139. Now, I don't always mention prices when I do my first impressions of watches, but this one, it's probably a little bit more expensive than I would have expected for a watch like this, or perhaps more money than I would normally spend on a watch like this. This one here cost me 375 Australian dollars, which is actually a fair amount of money. It's sort of more than I would normally sort of think to spend on a non-mechanical watch. But we do end up with quite a nice sort of watch for that money. But even for that money, 375, that's actually the cheapest I could find it for online. There are plenty of places asking for 500 Australian dollars. So if you are considering this one, definitely worth looking around. Now, inside this box, which is quite a nice box, it's quite a standard box from these guys, hang tag, we've got a instruction manual, and I think there's sort of warranty stuff in here as well. And I've taken out 5 links. Now I normally take 4 links out for a watch, so this one I think the links are slightly smaller, but also it allows for a slightly bigger wrist, which is great. But obviously we're here to see the watch, aren't we? And when I took this one out of the box, there were 4 things that stood out to me straight away. Firstly, it is very shiny, which means you end up getting fingerprints all over it. So you are going to see some fingerprints in this video. And when I do the full review, there's going to be some fingerprints as well. Sorry about that. But the other 3 things that stood out to me is that it has a real solid feeling in hand. This is all stainless steel clasp, stainless steel bracelet, which is solid stainless steel. The whole head of the watch here is all stainless steel as well. So it feels solid, but it doesn't feel too heavy, which is nice. It's like a nice amount of weight, but it does feel solid, which is really nice. The next thing that stood out was, of course, I needed to press that button, and check this out. It's really, really bright. In fact, what I'll do is I might just turn the lights out now just to really show you, because it really does stand out. Look at that, it's glowing. It's really, really cool. Very, very bright. And I'm glad that it is very, very bright, because in daylight, if you have this one out about with you, you got that direct sunshine on it, you want it to be quite bright because you want to actually be able to see that time. The third thing, or the fourth thing, sorry, that then stood out to me is how much I love it. I really was not sure if I was going to like this watch or not. I was really nervous about spending this amount of money on a watch. I was really nervous that I did not really think this purchase through very much, but I love it. So I'm really glad that I bought it. But let's check it out, shall we? You can see that there's some real 70 vibes going on here with these sort of striations or marks in the stainless steel. Continues down all throughout the bracelet, onto the clasp as well. As I said, all stainless steel, has that sort of wedge shape, shiny on the side there, as you can see all those little finger marks as well. Single button, which then turns the time on, 11:55. Second is the second hand. Hit it again, that's the date. Hit it again, that tells you the day of the week. Hit it again, we now have a dual time. One more and we're back to the time. On the other side, we have a recess button, which we can use something to stick in there to then access the mode button to adjust those. The end links are solid, however, they're not the sort of normal end links that we think about. They're sort of just like a flat end link, which then fits inside this case here. The links are quite big, and you'll see when they sit on your wrist itself, you can see that they kind of sit a little bit funny. Has a real sort of 70s feel, to be honest. Some people may not like that, and that's how it sort of sits on wrist, but I've got no problems with that at all. Heaps and heaps of micro adjust, so getting a fit was actually pretty good, and the links aren't particularly huge, you know, even though they sort of stick up a bit, they're not too huge. They even get a little bit smaller as they go down towards the clasp, so it was good to get a good fit. Just a friction lock, this one, and a solid milled interior. Inside here, you'll see the big sort of battery cover there to remove the battery and replace that. Not sure how long the battery lasts on this one. I'll have to look into that for the full review. But yeah, what a cool looking watch. There are a couple of other options available. You can get an all gold looking one, and there's some rubber or resin versions, but I like stainless steel, and I love blue as well, so having the stainless steel and the blue together work perfectly for me. And how does it look on my 6 3/4 inch wrist? I think it looks really fun. I'm quite amazed at how much I actually like this one and how much of a smile it puts on my face. Now, I do find with non-mechanical watches, they end up being sort of more tool watches for me. They end up being something that I pick out of the collection for a purpose. However, this one I'm picking out of my watch box just because I really, really want to wear it. It's really, really fun. I can foresee there being a little bit of an issue though, because if you just want to glance at your watch to see the time, you do have to bring in a second hand to press that button. Obviously, that's there to sort of save your battery. Otherwise, it probably chews the battery really quickly. So that could probably be a slight annoyance. I can probably already see that. However, I do like interacting with the watches. So leaning over it and touching it with the other hand to utilize the time. I'll see how we go. See if that becomes an annoying factor for me or whether it becomes one of those sort of quirks about it that I actually like. Really cool. It's not particularly huge, but because it's a square, it sort of takes up more wrist presence than you would actually expect. But overall, the dimensions itself aren't actually that huge. But as always, guys, this one's going to be on my wrist for a while. I actually don't foresee this one leaving the collection for some time, so I think I'm going to get a fair bit of wrist time with this one. It is so much fun. And as such, I'll end up doing a full review in about 4 to 6 weeks, giving you all the positives and negatives and things that I might want to change about this, and to see if I actually have ended up wearing it as much as I think I'm going to wear it. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let's just hit that button one more time. Oh yeah. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video.